This is an addendum to the biped rigging tutorial. If you've run through that, you may have noticed that when you apply the rig, you don't get the overdrivers on these ankles that maintain their relationship between the foot and the leg, which is no good. That's because the default behavior of building an overdriver is to include the parent space of this ankle in the whole spacing, which is a little bit bad because now we're saying both this foot and the parent space of this ankle, which are on opposite sides of the hierarchy, so one's above the hierarchy of the ankle and one's below the hierarchy of the ankle, are supposed to both try to drive it. That creates a little bit of a conflict. So to resolve that kind of conflicts, all we need to do is come into the helix settings section here. Helix settings. You'll notice I had this checked because I was messing with it just a moment ago, but this overdriver's no parent space by default is unchecked. That will mean that we always include the parent space when we apply an overdriver. We check it, it removes that parent space, so we never apply the parent space when we apply the overdriver, which is what we generally want when we're building rig relationships. So now we attach, or grab the attachment point, the control, and the ankle. Now, this is entirely constrained to just the foot attachment. If I undo that, I'll show you the behavior that we had originally, which is no good. You'll see that the world group object is also a part of the overdriver constraints. This one is not. So we want check overdrivers no parent space, grab that attachment, apply the overdriver. And no matter how you build the overdrivers, either one of these buttons, it will either always, when this is unchecked, always include the parent space, or when it's checked, never include the parent space. Now we can go ahead and save this rigging file. One nice thing to note is you'll actually notice that I am working in an animation file while making these rigging changes, and that is perfectly valid. You don't need to go back to a blank file to make changes to the rigging. The rigging is just a definition of how the tools will be applied, or how the rigging will be applied to your character. It's not any of the actual constraints or any of the scene information. So we can edit that kind of on the fly whenever we want, no matter what state the character is in, rigged or animated or whatever else, and we're all fine. Go back. Go ahead and quickly load that rig back on the character, and we should see that the ankles have their overdrivers as soon as this rigging file loads. There we go. Now we've got that full reverse foot relationship hooked up when we run the file.